Brought to you by Southern Trust Home Services. Give us a call at 540-208-3425. Get into a Southern state of mind. Hey there, I'm meteorologist Jamey Singleton, watching bad storms moving across the area, and we're on all platforms, even on Instagram Live at the moment, just to give you an idea of what's going on out there. And I'm just getting situated too myself, been running around like crazy putting all these updates out on the different platforms here. But this is the deal. We've got one line of storms that was in the mountains earlier, moving to the east, moving out of the Roanoke Valley area into Franklin County and Bedford County. This is a closer look at the storms, the potential for damaging winds and hail. It looks like the storm is right now, the one in Roanoke anyway, is kind of evading the Roanoke Valley. We see that a lot. It's going around the Roanoke City itself, but hitting Cave Spring pretty hard, and also around Hollins. This is a closer look at the Roanoke storm as we zoom on in here. That's Salem, and then as you go into Roanoke there, you can see the around Cloverdale going up to Hollins, and as you head up 460 toward Lynchburg going into Blue Ridge, and now entering Bedford County. That's a mean looking storm, and you can see the cool outflow here that's prompted more of the severe storms to be issued a little bit farther to the east. So we've got new development on that cool outflow boundary. This is a rush of wind, probably a shelf cloud out there, and you'll feel that cooler air move in. You'll feel that strong wind, and that's why the Weather Service is so concerned about this situation. This is a damaging straight line wind situation, and we've had reports of damage here in the Allegheny Highlands. Let me go to my other source here and see what that says. A lot of lightning there, as you can see on your screen too. Tree down near the intersection of Market Street and Route 615. I think that's about the only LSR local storm report that I've got. But you can see a lot of warnings taking up a lot of real estate that just issued. We've got a new warning for Henry County. Let me zoom you back out. So we've got the one line of storms pretty much from I-81 south through the Roanoke Valley. Roanoke just had a 39-mile-per-hour wind gust. Wow, that's impressive. A 39-mile-per-hour wind gust in Roanoke. That's as that outflow boundary went through. So this line here, moving into Amherst, Nelson, Bedford, Franklin counties. We've got a new line that's developing from Martinsville into Patrick County, and a new warning issued for Henry County. We have a plethora of storms in the Mountain Empire moving northeast or east with some strong winds. 32-mile-per-hour gust in Wytheville. So this continues to move east and will be entering the New River Valley over the next, say, 1 to 3 hours. So all of this activity is now through about, I'd say, 6 p.m. and maybe up to about 8 p.m. All right, so we're going to go into these storms. The most recent warning has come out for Henry County. And you can see the strongest cell there from Oak Level into Stanleytown. This storm right now has produced a 25-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Spencer Airport there, Blue Ridge Airport, and you can see the heavier core there. I want to look at the velocities of some of these storms. I don't see anything tremendously impressive, but probably between radar scans you can get these damaging winds that occur. I learned that the other day on Tuesday when I didn't see anything on radar that would suggest wind damage and burnt chimney, but there was significant wind damage and burnt chimney. Looking at the possibility of some hail there as well on 220 between Stanleytown and Oak Level. Now in Patrick County, south of Stewart, you've got a strong cell hugging the Virginia, North Carolina state line. And then as we move north, Gretna, you know that you're always in this zone, it seems, to get the storms. You've got development popping up between Alta Vista and Gretna. These are not the isolated storms that we've been dealing with over the past couple of days, this is a mess of storms that is taking up a lot of real estate. Okay, so just about everybody will probably at least hear thunder and get some residual effects from these storms, and a good part of the area will see the actual storms themselves. Okay, so in Franklin County, we've got new development right on the outflow boundary. I'll look at the velocity real fast, and I do see some enhanced winds through here at about 30 to 40 miles per hour in the red here. That's nearing Rocky Mount and Boone's Mill as we speak, and to the Callaway area. Two big cells here, one right around just south of Boone's Mill, just north of Brassy Hill. Another one coming out of Simpsons in Floyd County and moving over the mountain there in Callaway. Any one of these cells could become severe. We've got tree limbs down in the Hollins area. Big tree limbs down in the Hollins area. Time estimated by radar probably just a few minutes ago. On the timing of this, I'm going to read to you the warning for the Roanoke Valley area, and I'll put this in the motion so you get an idea of how fast the storms are moving. They are moving fast. That's in a way good news, in that we take the flash flood threat down, but it's bad news because when they move fast like that, the rain pulls down that momentum that the storms inherently carry, and so you automatically get 20 mile per hour or 25 mile an hour wind because the storm's moving like that. Then on top of that, you get whatever effect the storm has by itself to produce its own wind, and what you'll wind up with is a damaging wind situation. Damaging wind, we talk about 50 to 60 mile per hour plus. 40 miles an hour, that'll put some limbs down. That'll get your attention for sure, and it may cause some minor damage. But right at 50 to 58, right at 58 to 60 is where we start to see the trees come down and things of that nature, property damage and all of that. So that's what the big concern is with these storms today. Not so much the hail, although you may see some hail, but it's straight line winds, and you can see around Franklin County right now, we've got new development popping up real fast between Boone's Mill and Rocky Mount. That's a dangerous storm. Bedford right now has caught my attention. This is also a dangerous storm coming out of Botetourt County, coming out of Troutville, and now moving into Bedford and Big Island. You need to take shelter in a sturdy building. I would go ahead and play it like a tornado, even though it may not be. It's probably just straight line winds, but go ahead and get inside a sturdy building, get away from windows, and don't watch this thing through the windows, because if that wind suddenly hits you, it's going to blow out some windows possibly, or there could be trees falling and tree limbs falling, and you want to be sheltered. So get into a basement, an interior room, and just kind of wait for this to ride itself out. As I go north here in the Rockbridge County, you can see a couple of cells moving out of Lexington, one just south of Lexington, another strong couple of storms, and we'll probably see a warning at any point for Amherst County into Nelson County. That one has my attention as well. Let's look at the velocity on that. Let's see if it'll load. Yeah, it looks impressive. That's storm relative velocity there. Maybe some small hail echo tops. The cloud tops up to about 50,000 feet on some of these things. Montvale getting the really hard part of the storm. It's coming out of Botetourt County. There's another heavier cell right up against the border of Bedford and Botetourt County on the northern end. All right, so there's Montvale and Laymantown, and again, this is moving towards you in Bedford. So Bedford, you want to be on the safe side and get inside. Let me read to you some of the warnings. I was just about to do that anyway. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 2:45, so that's for another 14 minutes. For Roanoke, Bedford, Botetourt, and Franklin counties, the city of Salem, and the city of Roanoke. At 2:30, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Arcadia to Vinton. Let me show you that. There it is. Right through here. Okay. To near Terry's Fork, moving east at 25 miles per hour. 60 mile per hour wind gust, radar indicated. That would do damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Roanoke in the path. Roanoke is under it right now. Salem, Benton, Bedford, and Rocky Mount. So Rocky Mount needs to hunker down. You're still kind of ahead of the storm, and Bedford, you need to hunker down as well. I would also watch out around Smith Mountain Lake, anywhere in Franklin County, and into Henry County, as these storms are kind of sitting here in Henry County. There's the latest image. Okay, so you can see it now moving off the mountains, and then sometimes they'll strengthen as they come off the mountains in Bedford. And we've got a bolt out of the blue on the outflow here showing up right over Bedford. That's a lightning strike that hit somewhere in here. Let's zoom in and see if we can't show you where that lightning was. I'll wait for the images to clear up here. Lightning can jump out of the storm. It ends up being surprising, and those lightning bolts are usually positive, which can be about 10 times as strong as normal lightning bolts. And no warnings for the stuff. There's the new one in Amherst. News warning in Amherst. No warnings for the stuff in the Mountain Empire yet. This is a dying group of storms here, but plenty of energy to work with. So let's go to Amherst County right now, and we'll zoom into this area. That's Amherst, the one that was just issued. And I'll put that in motion. This purple area, by the way, is where the Storm Prediction Center is keeping an eye on for possible watch activity, possible severe thunderstorm watch. I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't confuse you. But yeah, they're looking at our area and thinking probably not in terms of a severe thunderstorm watch, which I'm surprised because we've got some pretty good coverage here. But whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point if warnings are already coming out, you know. All right, so in Amherst County, and that includes the city of Lynchburg too. All right, so let's go here. Is that really moving it? It's moving at 50 miles an hour. Let's see what the Weather Service has. That's my radar showing that cell moving at 50. National Weather Service in Blacksburg has a severe thunderstorm warning for Buena Vista, City of Lexington, Rockbridge County, Northern Bedford County, Amherst County, the city of Lynchburg until 3:30. So that's for another, wow, that's a long form warning. That's for another hour, just short of an hour. Severe thunderstorms located along a line from near Harrisonburg to Montebello to near Natural Bridge, moving east, at 50 miles per hour. These will cause damage. If they're moving at 50, you're going to get some wind out of this stuff. That's in Lynchburg and Amherst, and then maybe in Bedford too. Quarter-size hail, 60 mile per hour winds. I'd say your wind threat is really high with this particular line of storm. So again, just be safe. Head inside, away from windows. Treat this like you would a tornado, because this could do damage similar to a tornado in isolated areas where the wind jumps above 60. Lynchburg, Lexington, Buena Vista, Amherst, and Glasgow. That includes, of course, VMI and Liberty University. We've got some rain falling here at the station. I'll update you on what's going on in other areas there as well, but that's for the Amherst, Lynchburg area. These storms are moving at about 50 miles per hour. That's actually a bow echo right here, and I'll put a track here so you can get an idea of what's going on. We'll do manual tracking, and we'll go like this, and we'll draw the storm. It's kind of one big area moving east at 50. So there's 34, 35, 46. That's about 50 right there. So this puts the actual times of arrival on, basically. All right, so you can see Timberlake in 23 minutes, Amherst in 25 minutes, Lynchburg's got about 25 minutes. That'll be at around 2:55. getting right into Lynchburg at around 254, and on the east side of Lynchburg at 307 if that continues. And then Appomattox would have to watch this maybe around 3:20 p.m. So they're going ahead and they're watching this event unfold, and it's getting more organized. We were seeing little clusters of storms earlier. They're starting to organize into a larger Boeing segment that could have widespread wind damage associated with it. So hunker down from Buena Vista, Bedford, Forest, Timberlake, Amherst, Lynchburg, Madison Heights, and Appomattox. This storm is headed in your direction. We'll go 3D with it. You can see it there. There's the lake. And I'll go full screen for you here so you can see a little bit better. There's your 2D. I'll keep it there. But these little notches here, let me see if I can put my telestrator on. Let's see, telestration, start paintbrush, right here, and that's about all I see that's well defined. Maybe something here, but these are areas where the wind is very strong, and it's pushing that reflectivity out from the radar image. There's also some there, I think. So again, this is some high wind at about 60 miles per hour. It gets drawn into the backsides and the downdraft of this storm activity, and it punches through pretty much, and that's what creates a lot of the wind damage and the concern out there. So that's a look at what that is. What I'm looking at, those little notches on the left side of the storm. So we'll clear the paintbrush, and we will finish the paintbrush, and I'll look at that track, and we'll keep that on there for you as we continue to watch this. Actually, I'm going to draw a new one, or just at least take it off for right now, because it's updating up underneath here. So I'll do manual track, clear track. That way you can still see the new scans that are coming in. So again, it's getting very close now to Bedford. It's getting very, very close to Glasgow. And again, we've got storms on the outflow that we have to watch for as well. Going back south, Smith Mountain Lake, the North Shore area near Hardy, seeing some activity. And that's the flanking line, if you will, on the southern end of this, going through the Vinton area and the Hardy area, and right around Windy Gap in Franklin County. There's also activity, heavy activity north of Rocky Mount near Burnt Chimney as well. This is very close to the Blackwater River Bridge. As you head up that road there, I'm trying to think of it, Bondbrook Mill Road, and the Industrial Park. This is also very close to my house on Angle Plantation, it looks like. So very concerned about that because the winds are very strong. So again, everyone hunker down. Dot, the weather cat, is hunkered down. I kept her inside today. She'll probably be on her cat tree watching this. And then as we go into Henry County, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect, although I don't see anything that's really jumping out at me right now, but still could be some higher winds just east of Bassett and just north of Horse Pasture. You can see the reds have kind of diminished in this, and we can actually take you right into Martinsville, 57 and 58 there, getting the heaviest of rain. As you come up 220 bypass, you can see that's also some heavier rain there around Fielddale into Collinsville, and another heavy cell in northern Henry County. Zooming out a little bit more, we've got a few individual cells that have developed in northern Pittsylvania County, just around Alta Vista and again in Gretna, and a new severe thunderstorm warning now issued for Galax and Hillsville. That's Carroll County into eastern Grayson County. That includes southwest Floyd County as well, and West Patrick County. And Mom just confirmed that it's storming where she works. So I'm definitely seeing that activity picking up there and seeing this storm motion with this storm at 24 miles per hour. I'll read you the warning with this. Look at that radar updating there. It's pretty neat that we can show you that. National Weather Service in Blacksburg has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for, that's a big one here, Allegheny County in northwest North Carolina, Surrey County in northwest North Carolina, northern Wilkes County, eastern Ashe County, northern Yadkin County, southwestern Floyd County, Carroll County, the city of Galax, eastern Grayson County, and southwestern Patrick County until 3:46. We've got severe thunderstorms located on the line from Spring Valley to McGrady, moving east at 25 miles per hour. 60 mile per hour winds with these as well as they move on off to the east. Your locations impacted would include Mount Airy, Galax, Elkin, Fairview, and Flat Rock. We'll draw a track here east at 25. Here's the storms they were referencing. And that storm vector, it's 32, 33, it's 27, there's 25. We'll zoom into that so you can see. So it's really the southern part of near Galax itself. Galax really over the next couple of minutes getting slammed with this storm, and then it's going to cross I-77 right around, looks like 322 in about 30 minutes or so. Highway 52. You've got some cells that have developed out in front of the warned cell. So that may be something you hear today, that you're in the path of this at a certain time and it's already raining outside. Chances are what's happened is a new thunderstorm has popped up ahead of the main line that is prompting the warning. All right, so when they put warnings out, they're usually looking at one particular cell. Sometimes they'll look at the whole area and say there'll be storms developing, but usually they hone in on part of the radar screen that they want to warn on, and then they'll put that out in time there. So you can see this is southern Carroll County and the southwestern Patrick County, and then going into North Carolina, Dobson, Mount Airy, right over Sparta right now. And again, that's a strong storm there. All right. It's a weaker cluster of storms as you take Wytheville and 52 and 77 into West Virginia. Very heavy rain, mind you, Tazewell County into Bland County. But right now in the Mountain Empire, with the exception of what's going on in Galax, it's just rain. Let's see if I can get my lightning to update, and maybe thunder as well. But in terms of severe, it's mainly just some rain. Although this storm, I will tell you that the top part of this line, just around the Bluefield area, does look pretty strong, so may have to watch that. Usually the strongest part, though, is going to be down here, and that's exactly where it is. Looks like the warning for Franklin County and Roanoke has been canceled, or I don't see it on my map anyway. I think they may have dropped that. They did. They have a special weather statement out, but still a very healthy storm here. I'm not sure why they canceled the Franklin County storm because, wow. All right, we've got rotation north of Rocky Mount. And I've got an indicator here of, let's see, 39, 40 mile an hour wind going this way. And then we've got just a little bit of wind, maybe 0 to 5 miles per hour blowing into the radar. So right north of Rocky Mount, there's a little bit of rotation, but it has to really cluster together if we're going to see anything like a tornado. Chances are this is just a strong storm, but if it is a tornado, it's probably rain wrapped. I can hear the thunder off to the north. This is a dangerous situation because I do see a little bit of a correlation coefficient showing up here. Oh, That's right near 220. Guys, I've got to make a call on this. It looks like there could be a tornado right now in Franklin County, north of Rocky Mount on 220. There's you've got wind going in opposite directions, and on the correlation coefficient, you've got a hole there. Give me 1 second. I've got to put an update out on this. I'm going to do it on WSV3. Franklin County, take shelter in a basement. I'm looking at what could be it's a rotating storm, possibly producing a tornado. Possibly. I do have lots of rotation here, plenty of rotation, and I also have a correlation coefficient that is showing me that there could be debris in the air. That's north of Boone's Mill, north of Rocky Mount there. Also, maybe nearing along 122, very close to my house. Okay, print screen. We're going to do this. I'm going to go full screen for you here while I work. And you can put that in motion and see how it starts to spin. Possible tornado developing in Franklin County, moving very fast. If not a tornado, probably some 60-mile-per-hour winds. And I got to tell you, I don't know why that warning was dropped for Franklin County, but we need another warning here. Okay, that's the velocity. And then this is what has me concerned. If you look at the correlation coefficient, which is what we're supposed to use to see if there's any debris in the air, just a second ago, let's see if I can take off the smoothing here. I don't want the smoothing. Yeah. There was a little dot there. It's hard for me to, oh, there's the timeline. I got you. And that was right on 220. Looks like the dot was even spinning. That's debris. And I'm going to print that. Let's see. We'll save this as TOR1, PNG, and then the next one. Crop. And I will circle this for folks to see. Excuse me here while I do a post for folks not seeing this on the live stream. The storm's all over the place. Damaging wind is the main threat. And watching some rotation north of Franklin County, north of Rocky Mount, sorry, in Franklin County, just passing over 220 and now nearing 122 east of Rocky Mount. Getting some really strong wind here at the station, 16 miles an hour. That's strong because I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, my weather station's partially blocked from getting the full wind there. So when I get 15 to 16, I know I'm getting a pretty good storm outside, believe it or not. It's the 50-mile-per-hour stuff that'll do the damage. That's the outflow that we're seeing now in Redwood coming off of the storm. The outflow can, again, initiate a lot of times new storms, and we've seen that. We've seen that a lot today. Possible debris in the air. Hang with me for a second while you look at that. Let's show you the normal radar on the wider view, and we'll smooth it back. And yeah, we've got some really strong stuff coming right through Franklin County. A lot of lightning over Rocky Mount as well. Folks may lose power as well. I don't know if you can hear the thunder here. And I haven't got it set up yet on my restream where I can look at your comments. But I definitely want to figure that out. So if you're leaving me questions and stuff, I'm sorry, on this new service that I'm on, I'm not able to immediately look at those questions and comments. But hopefully I will be able to do that. I had to subscribe to a different service just to see all the stuff I'm getting from all different spots here. So that's tour 2, and then we'll need to open back tour 1, and we'll go like this, and we'll go like that. And that's rotation. All right, save. And now going to go over here. Keep watching this. Again, this is all sponsored by Southern Trust, by the way. Lynchburg under the warning, still looking at Bedford County in this warning. Okay, they shaved the warning now. They've got a different warning out for eastern Franklin County in the Bedford. And then we've got more storms in the mountains around Galax, a warning for you all the way down I-77. Henry County is still under a severe thunderstorm warning, just in case. Not seeing much in Henry County right now, I'll be honest with you. And then as you go into the mountains, it's pretty much just a rain event unless you're at Bluefield, where it's a bit stronger right now. Additional cells popping out as they always do around Alta Vista and Gretna, also east of Charlotte Courthouse and north of South Hill, as we make our way into Central Virginia and Lunenburg County, Mecklenburg County. Confirmed damage in Craig County earlier with these, and I'm sure we'll get some more reports in as the day goes on. That's a summary as we're looking at this right now. I'm going to post to my meteorologist page what I'm seeing. And what was that about? That was about 10 minutes ago, I guess. So around 2:45, there was a possible spin-up tornado wrapped in rain in Franklin County north of Rocky Mount. And if I don't lose power, I'll be able to post that. At 2:45 p.m. north of Rocky Mount near 220. The radar radar showed debris. And the velocity showed rotation. Take these storms seriously. And we're going to share that, and then we're going to put that on Twitter as well. So I can do the videos like this. I want to be able to post to a bunch of places there. Kevin Might says storms fizzling over the Roanoke Valley. I thought he said storm extravaganza earlier. Either way, he's a talented writer. So we'll do this for Franklin County. I'm coming back to move the radar around as soon as I post this, and I've got it all ready for you right now. That's the correlation. We'll do as well their rotation. That is posted. All right, good deal. All right, we're looking back now and putting things in motion. I want to clear this track for you. And we're going to go double box. Hey, so what I was watching, around 2:45, again, in Franklin County, as that line moved through, there was a brief period where the radar picked up a spin in the storm, and also it picked up some what could be, but definitely were not raindrops, so it could be debris or hail in that thunderstorm. Could be either one of those. Looked to me like it could have been some kind of debris because it was right in between the green and the red that you normally see when something's rotating like that. So that kind of caught my eye. It reminded me of the storm. Oh, it didn't have a hook with it, but the scenario in Pulaski where you had that little tornado there and did some damage. It wasn't so little for the folks that suffered from it, I'm sure. So hopefully everything's okay in Rocky Mount, but we'll have reports as they come in, maybe if there's any damage out there. Billy Ferguson and Public Safety, they do a great job of going out and getting the damage figured out here. All right, so I just need to erase this track here. When I go live too, you get a lot of this, me working. Since at a bigger TV station, you got somebody on radar, somebody on social media, somebody on television side, and here it's just me. So it gets a little complicated at times. Is what I guess what I'm trying to say. Storm summary. The one in Rocky Mount still is right over 122, and Smith Mountain Lake. Keep getting pictures from a mom of the storm. It must have been bad where she's at. A lot of lightning nearing Highway 40 there where they're paving. There's a lot of lightning in Franklin County. The lightning alone is pretty, dangerous out there if you're in it. Then you should go down to Fair, and we've got another heavy band here coming through. More activity has developed into a line along the Smith Mountain Lake Dam as it moves into Leesville Lake, right over the water, pretty much, almost, near Gretna. Stronger storm there. It's kind of been sitting there on 29 near Gretna as we get a new scan in, and there it is, still sitting there. But again, putting down some heavier rain. That could go severe. That could intensify. So watch out in Pittsylvania County and then even in the Campbell County. Everyone will eventually see these storms. They're going to move on off to the east. The all clear may not happen for a while because we've got more storms behind this main batch here, but chances are they'll come in a weakened state. Just moderate rain is what we're expecting. We had damage too around Hollins with some tree limb damage there from broadcast media. And then as you move north into Lynchburg, you're under a warning. A very strong cell here between Buena Vista. And as you go, let's see, that is Highway 60. in the Amherst. Very, very strong winds, more than likely. Just north of Highway 130 or Route 130 and Route 60, we've got a very strong storm here with indications are on the radar with some stronger wind. That has some stronger wind with it. Let me go to Lynchburg. Lynchburg, no storms just yet, but you've got one right out of the town limits of Monroe, and you've got one just out north of Forest as well, near Big Island. And then there's the storm I was talking about here. Massey's Mill and Nelson County, Livingston, Arrington, getting this strong storm as well. This is a really strong one. And I wanted to look at the velocities. And you can see that strong wind there coming out of Big Island. That is 40 mile per hour winds. There's also some rotation being picked up in the middle of this. This is in Amherst County now. And those cloud tops are simply amazing. Looks like there's some hail as well. So this is probably dropping 1-inch hail in that area or something very close to it in Amherst County. So Nelson County, Amherst County, that's a strong storm. You need to be away from windows and let that thing pass. That's a dangerous one. And you can see all the lightning associated with it as well. So heavy rain, lots of lightning, and those 60 mile per hour winds. There's a little bit right where that notch is. That's called the inflow notch. And there's actually, this is showing me more of a potential microburst right now or a downburst. More of a widespread one. They tend to be a little bit weaker because they're over a broader area, but what's happening now are the winds, they're going in two directions or maybe converging. It's hard for me to tell because there is some rotation here. This may be convergence. This is where wind's coming away. We need to watch this. There's a couple of notches of velocity that are very broad right now that maybe could form something if they wanted to. My mouth has gotten dry, so it's why I'm remixing my voice here. And we've got the lightning in Redwood. So if I don't lose power, hopefully everything will be okay. Westlake Corner right now getting slammed all the way down 122. Again, hopefully you're just watching this and you're in your safe place, whether it be a closet or under a table or in the basement or whatever. But you definitely want to be away from those windows. That's the big thing that I have to tell you about. And if there's a tree near your house, maybe be in a room that's where that tree isn't going to fall. Because that's the danger we have with some of these storms. Not all of them are going to produce the wind damage, though, but there's definitely some hints of some very strong wind in these storms as they continue to move off to the east. Outflow, you can see that outflow kicked off the new storms in Rocky Mount to Westlake Corner. Manita's getting hit hard. This is Bedford County. We'll look at Bedford. Came out of Montvale. And it looks like that one cell right through there had something going for it in terms of velocity. Hard to tell. It can be hard to tell sometimes. It raced through Montvale, western Bedford County, just north of Bonita now. That's that storm. And you can see the new outflow going a little bit toward Smith Mountain Lake. So next in line would be Evington, Rustburg, and areas out to the east. And then you've got more activity just roaring through the West Virginia area. So want to watch out around Beckley. Don't want to leave out my West Virginia viewers here. Beckley, Hinton, Union, up to Lewisburg in the Greenbrier Valley. You may get some storms over the next, let's say, 1.5 hours through about 4:30 or 5 o'clock coming in from the southwest and meeting up around I-77 and eventually getting up to I-64. If that trend continues, you see around Union some new development there. And the line that was affecting Galax, we were just talking about that, continues to move east. It looks like it's met another outflow boundary. That can be dangerous because when outflow boundaries collide, sometimes you can initiate spin on that. Not a crazy day in terms of wind shear, but you have to look at these low-level features and say, if you've got an updraft that meets two areas where they hit, you could potentially get some spin going. And I saw that in Franklin County. It didn't last very long. That's at the top of your screen right there. And I saw it a little bit in Amherst County and a little hint of it in Carroll County too, as the boundaries collide. We'll have to watch Hillsville into north of Cana, Fancy Gap there as well. And this is the loop. Let's go with the loop still moving into Franklin County. I'll show you where that potential was. And oh my goodness, stand by. Still a very concentrated area on the radar here. That to me looks like a potential donut hole, which would be the mesocyclone of a potential tornado. This concerns me. This is very close to where I am, actually. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to look outside, okay? Stay tight. This is Franklin County, where on Route 40 heading into Redwood. Might be something spinning in the air, at least some broad rotation. I'll be right back. All right, folks, I didn't see anything that was too bad out in over Redwood, where I'm at, but certainly some gusty winds, some very heavy rain, and that severe thunderstorm warning just in case. That gives me some relief because I've got my cursor right where the station is, where I'm at, and there was what appeared to be a bit of a donut hole right over us. At least a little bowing that was going on there. So probably that was the wind that we got here at the studio not too long ago, pushing that out. But I'm going to go ahead and screen grab that because that was a very interesting image, to say the very least. So I'm just going to save this image. I'll do entire window. Okay, so here's the very latest. We'll smooth this out. Still some strong storms, Gretna, Callens. We're going to make our way probably into Smith Mountain Lake right now. North Shore, Westlake Corner getting slammed with some heavier rainfall, and looks like it could be some very gusty winds in there as well. Maybe some hail at times. When we get up into the yellows on this map, this kind of product that you're looking at is where we potentially see hail. And then as you move into Bedford right now, seeing some moderate rain, probably some gusty winds south of town as you make your way toward Manita and Good here. Just some rain, very spotty in nature. Look at the stuff in Amherst County. I told you this is one of the more dangerous storms I've been looking at all day. Very little hail, but certainly a lot of wind coming out of this thing. 39 miles per hour. The actual velocity is a little bit higher than that. But yeah, that's just those bright colors. That's just straight line winds that are coming off a big island there, the mountain there, and sloping right down toward Amherst. So Amherst, Monroe, Sweetbriar Station, that bow is going to move closer to you over the next few minutes. So again, you want to be away from windows, and you want to definitely, not be on the side that's facing west. If you've got a part of the house that's more east, that would be a good place to go in case it's a dangerous straight line wind situation. Okay. Now Nelson County's got a new warning out. This one is until 3:45. Storms moving east over Clifford at 15 miles per hour. And with all these, you're going to hear 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail possible. Those are the two things that are going on right now. I don't think they've gone up to 70 on these. No. They've gone down on the hail potential at the end of these warnings. And sometimes they'll say tornado possible if they see some rotation. But I don't see that. I see the 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Okay. Tomorrow is going to be the interesting day where things can get really hairy and start to rotate. Here we go. And there's your radar loop. Looking for new reports as well. I'm going to take a break. All right. And what I'm going to do is gather some stuff here. Get situated again. And my Instagram phone had the battery went dead, so we're going to get that charged back up and figure out a way to do that. And I will do another live stream momentarily, okay? So stick around. I'm going to post some stuff on my pages, and thanks for following me. Be safe. I'll be right back in a few more minutes.